Towering an astonishing 29,000 feet above sea level, Mount Everest stands as the tallest mountain on Earth, situated in the sub-range of Himalayas. The mountain's summit straddles the border separating Tibet and Nepal. Mount Everest is the host to numerous unsolved mysteries that have left people scratching their heads. Join us today as we share with you the 9 most enigmatic things that have taken place on Mount Everest. You may think that Sir Edmund Hillary was the first person to stand on the top of Everest in 1953. But what if he was not? What if two Englishmen, George Mallory and Sandy Irvine, had already done it in 1924? They were seen through a telescope as tiny black dots, only 100 feet from the summit. But they never came back and no one knows if they made it or not. Mallory was a seasoned climber who had been to Everest twice before. He was part of the British reconnaissance expedition in 1921, which mapped the area around the mountain. He was the first European to see the western slope, and he realized that oxygen cylinders were essential for climbing at such high altitudes. He chose Irvine as his partner because he was good at handling the oxygen equipment. They left with 5 porters and a guide. The guide stayed behind to survey the mountain while Mallory and Irvine went ahead. A snowstorm hit and the guide shouted for them to come back, but he never saw them again. The next day he found their camp empty. 2 sleeping bags were arranged in a T-shape, but there was no sign of the climbers. Mallory's body was found in 1999, but it did not solve the mystery. His camera, which would have proved that they reached the summit, was missing. But there was one clue. Before the ascent, Mallory had promised his wife Ruth that he would leave her photo on the summit. He kept the photo in his inner pocket, but it was not with him when he died. Could it be that Mallory and Irvine were the first ones to conquer Everest? Mount Everest is not only the highest peak in the world, but also the most mysterious. Some climbers have reported encountering strange phenomena and eerie apparitions on their way to the summit. Could it be that the mountain is haunted by the restless spirits of those who died there? One of the most chilling stories comes from the Pamba Dorje, a Sherpa who climbed Everest in 2004. He claimed that he saw dark figures emerging from nowhere, reaching out their hands as if asking for help or food. He believed that they were the ghosts of dead climbers, trapped in a limbo between life and death. He was not only the one who witnessed such things. Many others have reported hearing voices, seeing lights, or feeling cold touches on the mountain. What is the truth behind these spooky sightings? Are they just hallucinations caused by the lack of oxygen and the extreme conditions, or are they evidence of something supernatural lurking on the Everest? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. One of the most terrifying discoveries on Mount Everest is the zone of no return. This is a region above 8,000 meters where the air is so thin that it can barely sustain life. Most of the fatalities on the mountain happen there, as climbers struggle to breathe even with extra oxygen. The weather is also brutal, often forcing them to turn back or face death. This is why the zone of no return is also known as the death zone, a place where only the bravest dare to venture. Many people who climb Everest hope for a divine experience and even imagine seeing heaven from the top. But for John Creepiest, a British mountaineer, and his 2 friends, the journey turned into a nightmare when they faced a mob of angry Sherpas who blocked their path and threatened their lives. Sherpas are native people of Nepal who live in the shadow of Everest. They are also known for their skills and endurance in high altitudes. But they are also protective of their land and culture. Griffiths and his friends had a fight with some Sherpas who accused them of disrespecting their rules and traditions. They thought it was a minor misunderstanding, but they were wrong. The Sherpas came back with revenge. They gathered about 100 men armed with stones and sticks. They hid their faces and attacked the climbers with no mercy. They would have been killed if not for the help of some brave climbers from Camp 2 who came for their rescue. One of them was Melissa, an American woman who had climbed Everest 4 times. She knew the Sherpas well and she sensed the danger. She warned Griffiths and his friends to leave the mountain as soon as possible, before it was too late. They followed her advice and escaped with their lives, but they had to abandon their dream of reaching the summit. This was a terrifying discovery that they would never forget. Mount Everest is full of stories, but one of the most terrifying ones is the mysterious sounds that keep mountaineers awake at night when the sun goes down. The mountain becomes a nightmare. A loud and horrifying noise echoes through the valleys, reaching far and wide. It sounds like the mountain is alive and angry. What could be the source of this dreadful sound? Devhan, a climber who has reached the summit of Everest 15 times, was the first to report this phenomenon. He said that he saw huge chunks of snow and ice falling from the peaks, crashing into the ground. The sound was so unbearable that he could not sleep. He wondered what was causing this chaos. Scientists have finally found the answer. They say that the sound of the ice is a result of the rapid temperature change in the Himalayas. When the sun sets, the glaciers around the Everest start to crack and break. The ice falls from the great heights, creating a deafening sound. The researchers say that this is a sign of climate change and the melting of the glaciers. This is the sound of ice and it's scary. Imagine climbing Mount Everest, the world's highest and the most dangerous mountain. As you seek a path to the summit, you spot something strange, a gigantic footprint in the snow, unlike any animals with human-like toes. But how could a person walk barefoot in the freezing cold? This was what happened to the mountaineer Eric Shipton in 1951. He found unusual footprint from a 2-legged giant creature and even some fur nearby. Was it the legendary Yeti, a mythical Himalayan beast? Scientists have been trying to answer this question for decades, using the latest technology and DNA analysis, but the results have been inclusive and surprising. The fur that Shipton found did not match any known animal. It was a new and unique species, never seen before. Could this be the proof that the Yeti exists, or is it just a mistake? Unless we find more evidence or catch a glimpse of the exclusive creature. Until then, the mystery of the Yeti remains unsolved. Jim Davidson, a mountaineer and geologist, faced the most terrifying day of his life on Everest in 2015. He was at the Camp 1 when a massive earthquake of 7.8 magnitude shook the mountain. It was the deadliest day in Everest history, claiming 18 lives on the mountain and 9,000 more in Nepal and nearby countries. Davidson survived the quake, but he was trapped for 11 days, during which he helped other victims. Despite the trauma, Davidson, who was over 50 years old, did not give up on his dream of reaching the summit. He returned to Everest a year later, after training for up to 12 hours a day. He finally achieved his goal and stood on the top of the world, the highest point on the earth. He sent a message to his wife from there saying, "I'm standing on the top of the world, the highest point on the earth." Contrary to expectations, Everest hosts a variety of wildlife. Himalayan jumping spiders, unique grasshoppers, snow leopards, Himalayan taurs, black bears, and even the rare red panda call this harsh environment home. These creatures have adapted to Everest extreme conditions, defying all expectations. Mount Everest is more than just a mountain. It's a realm of mystery, danger, and the unknown. From unsolved mysteries and the eerie apparitions to the deadly zone of no return and unexpected wildlife, Everest continues to captivate and terrify. What do you think about these mysteries? Are they just stories, or is there more to Everest than meets the eye? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Trends in the World for more incredible stories. If you enjoyed this video, check out our previous video about the mystery of Amazon forest. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will delve into another mystery. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Till then, stay curious, stay informed.